Many coaches have a Kwikee style step that's usually a single or dual, sometimes even a triple retractable step. And that step does require lubrication. Most people think that the lubricating points are on the sides of the step, at each one of these arms that you see here and up at the top of the steps. But in fact, the most critical part of the steps mechanism is underneath this area, found up in behind here. And so we're going to have a look underneath and see how in fact a step should be lubricated. Some steps, such as the Coach Step brand, do not require lubrication, and some made by Lippert, often found on high-end coaches, have a set of ball bearings, and they do not require the same type of lubrication. However, they do require lubrication. Let's have a look underneath and see what's involved in lubricating this type of step. Underneath the step, you will see a long bar that goes from the side of the step right across the side of the step. It's connected to the motor through a link, and the motor itself is centered here in this area with a gearbox. So there is a bar that goes side to side right across here, and then there are side lubrication points on the edge of each end of this bar. So the idea is to spray lubrication on each side of each of these particular points, so that the lubrication penetrates the bearing and then leaves the grease residue behind to seal it from road residue and grease. While you're under there, also do this area here, the step link, and the area where there is a cotter pin through a pin that is mounted down to the step mechanism itself. Now, if the step has never been lubricated, we recommend that you have an assistant give you a hand while you spray each of these joints with WD-40. The WD-40, with the door opening and closing so the step goes in and out, will actually clean out all of the rust that's built up in those bearings. It's a cold rolled steel bar with bearings on either side, and should that rust build up in there, it will cause the step to stop. And so the step itself must be cleaned first with WD-40. Once it's clean and the clear fluid is coming out from down below, or dropping down from the step, then wipe it clean and apply the quick lube that we mentioned in our introduction. And then also do the side portions of each of the various joints, so that the step itself is then properly lubricated. And should a step ever need adjustment because it's sliding or it's dipping when someone steps on it and it's loose, these 2 points here, one on either side, are adjustment bolts. They're offset center bolts, so that if you turn the bolt loose, it will become a lot more flexible, and the bolt can be then pushed down into and against the side rod to result in a tighter step, so when you step out it doesn't give. Obviously there's a light bulb that's inside this lens here, and the control circuit board, which can be white, it can be orange, there's a number of different colors. The latest one is this style that you see here, and one of the important connectors while you're under near to connect and you check out is this one here, which on the newer steps is against the step, but the most important one is in behind, and it's always a green wire, and it's located in an area where it can be attached to the frame. Also check the joint between the electrical connectors, which you can see here. Those now on the newer steps are much better in terms of their water sealing ability. On the older steps they were just taped together. So also make sure that those particular connections are clean and dirt free, because they really do need to be good in order for the step to operate correctly. And we recommend using a corrosion block chemical on all of those joints. Into the circuit board now, they are all protected and sealed, so there really is not too much issue there with the connections at the circuit board itself. So that basically is how to lubricate the step. We would recommend that you do that lubrication every 30 to 60 days during the time when this RV is being used, and especially more often if it's in and out a lot or even if it's sitting a lot, because, or certainly if it's going in the storage, we'd recommend lubricating it prior to going in the storage so that the step has some protection during the storage time.